Hey, Mr. Waco.
Hello, Julien. How are you, my friend?
Hey, how are you?
Fantastic. Thank you.
I'm doing very good. Very well, I should say. I'm okay. And you? What's going on?
Yeah, perfect. Wearing a very cool watch.
Yes, I prefer this one. Oh, no, sorry, this one.
Yeah,
but
really well.
I love your shirt one more time, you know?
Thank you very much.
It's another of Magnum limited edition.
Precisely. I've been in Singapore now 1 year, and the weather is quite tropical, shall we say. These shirts have been very practical. So, Julien, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about the Defy Extreme, this new watch that I believe you have on your wrist, actually?
Absolutely. You know where, you remember, of course, when we launched the Defy 21, it was the very first Defy, the big comeback of that particular collection in 2017. Great success for us over a few years. And of course, the brief was, how can we push the limits further? How can we really come with even more punch into that watch? And that's how we worked on every single element of the design with Romain Marietta, on the pushers, the protect pushers, crown, of course, the shape of the bracelet, the bezel, very important, the bezel, dodecagonal bezel, sorry, with 12 side, and very cool one that we took from the historical one, the historical Defy. And obviously we worked on the whole shape of the case, you know, and that came only 1 millimeter bigger than the Defy 21, only 1 millimeter bigger. So it's still a very wearable watch. And that was the objective. How can we bring a lot of energy, a lot of punch into that watch, keeping it wearable? You know, we didn't want to go into a concept kind of watch that nobody will wear. And the result is very, very cool. Of course, part of it, we worked on how can we make it also interchangeable. And as you can see here, I'm removing, for example, the rubber strap in a very, very easy way. And bring another strap that I really like a lot is the Velcro one. Again, in a fraction of a second, up, you have your new watch looking very, very cool. So you basically buy it on the metal and you get 2 straps.
And I see different versions of the watch on the table in front of you. Julien, what is the watch that's all the way to the extreme? It looks like it's glowing.
Yes, of course. You're talking about my friend Felipe Pantone watch, you know? That's the one you've seen a few weeks ago.
It's completely sold out, as I recall.
Yes, it got sold out in a few hours. You know, it's incredible. Not only it shows that if you bring the right creativity in a watch, and that's what we did by having the kinetic art of Felipe inside the movement on both sides, but also when you use the e-commerce the way we did, it got sold out very quickly. And you know, when people are doubting about e-commerce for watches, this is the best answer. It's 18,900 Swiss francs, so it's not an inexpensive watch, but it got sold in a fraction of in a few hours, actually, literally. So that's fantastic.
How did you make the connection with Felipe Pantone?
Very naturally. I mean, he was introduced to us by a common friend, and it was a year and a half ago. And first, you know, I was like, okay, street artist, contemporary artist, how can we really collaborate? And when he came to Zenith, not only he demonstrated a huge interest for watches, which I didn't really know, but he also communicated a lot about how he realized his own dream. And here I made the connection between Time to Reach Your Star, our brand philosophy, and this man's philosophy. And he told me, you know, when he was a kid, he wanted to tag walls and become a street artist, which usually when you tell this to your parents, and I'm a father of 3, the first reaction would be, are you sure you don't want to do another job? And he pursued his dream. He pursued his way to reach his own star, which was to become and to make a living out of his passion. And I think it's fantastic. I like that. So that's how we started. And then I have to tell you a little bit of another insight. I've never seen in a collaboration such involvement. Felipe was calling Romain and the team every 2 days, you know, it was crazy. He really wanted to understand what was going to happen with the watch because he felt that it's part of his reputation, of course, but style and like a little part of an art piece that was into the watch. So he got very much involved. Fantastic collaboration.
Was it his decision or a mutual decision to use the El Primero 21, the 1/100th of a second chronograph, as the platform for the collaboration?
If it was a mutual decision, you know, we looked at different watches, and of course, he's a very contemporary, very innovative. So he loved the 100th of a second chronograph. He loved the way we skeletonized the movement also, you know, halfway between a traditional skeleton and a full dial. And he loved that a lot. He said, I can play much better on the depth of a movement like that than on a regular closed dial. That's how he came. And of course, I jumped on his speaking to say, okay, Felipe, but can you help me to decorate our manufacture and to bring some happiness into Le Locle? And that's how he also worked on this 600 square meter wrapping, painting that we used to wrap the whole manufacture. And that was incredible because not only we were the first manufacturer to do it, but also I was a bit nervous about how the local authorities would react, or inhabitants of Le Locle. And they were so happy. They told me, Julien, it's fantastic because you and your team, you brought light and happiness into Le Locle in a tough 2020 year. So it's been a fantastic collaboration with Felipe. You know him?
No, I know who he is, of course, but I've never met him. But it was very
okay. We'll organize you to meet him.
Thank you so much. When you launched this watch, I think it also came at a very important moment. I think now we are starting to feel the first real sense of optimism towards the future. Yeah. In a lot of countries around the world, people are being vaccinated. A lot of people are planning even to travel in the third and fourth quarter of the year. And this watch, in some ways, with the beautiful colors, almost became like a little bit of a symbol of hope. So I think it's, and I know you have more colorful watches to discuss as well, but I think it was the perfect timing, the perfect watch. So bravo.
Thank you. No, yeah, please.
I'm sorry I interrupted you before on the Defy Extreme. I know that you were wearing the micro sandblasted titanium version, but you've got two additional versions, one with polished titanium and one with micro sandblasted and rose gold as well.
Yes, we do, absolutely. And here, if I use, let me put my glove that I forgot to put, so Romain will be very upset. This is the regular titanium one. Right. That's also an incredible watch. We played again with the colors, you know, incorporating the blue, our really, I would say, our brand corporate color linked to the starry sky into the movement in a very, very cool way, whether you look on one side or the other. And again, here, very easy to change the look of the watch. You know, you simply do this, you press here again in 1 second. With this system, that's actually very safe because not only you can change the strap very quickly, but also you are protected from thieves, you know. That's why we wanted to make it convenient to use, but hidden. You only know this, you only can do it from the back of the watch, which makes it very safe. You know, you cannot get stolen. So that's the way you change it in a very quick way.
Yeah, it's nice. The polished titanium allows you to see how faceted and how complex the case is.
Absolutely. Now we got microblasted titanium, the regular titanium here, and of course the third version, which is a mix of microblasted titanium and rose gold. And that gives also a little bit of a nice, I would say, version, you know, where you can see these colors all the way inside the dial, around the bezel, and around the pushers. Very well balanced.
Cool. I like how you even brought it into the rotor, into the skeletonized base as well. Yeah. Really cool. No, it's nice to see that the El Primero movement can have so many different identities as well.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and we wanted really with this one to work on the on giving even more character, I would say, and punch. It's a very punchy watch again, but very wearable, and that was the objective.
Very cool. So if we can go from there to a new collection of watches called the Spectrum series in the Defy 21 collection. Yes. And let's look at that, and maybe you can walk us through those a little bit. I think they're really cool. And again, I love the colors. I feel it's got this great uplifting effect.
But you know, last year, you remember very well that we launched the Ultraviolet. I know you like that watch very much. Then we started also this year to launch a few weeks ago the Ultra Blue, which is another version of the Defy 21. Again, microblasted titanium, the right level of blue everywhere to make it very balanced. Again, with our corporate color blue, we had to go for this. And bringing colors and colors, we realized that with the Defy 21, it's the perfect case, you know, to have this effect between colors, lights, and high frequency. That's how we came with something a bit crazy. But, you know, I'm happy about that because this is also something we are bringing just after a very tough year where we all need colors, we all need light, we all need hope. And these watches are perfectly in line with the spirit of the moment. And we decided to make them very special because I want someone, for example, wearing this one. You know, there are only 10 people in the world that will wear it. So each of those watches are limited to 10 pieces only. We already have people, we already got calls from people that want all the number 5 or all the number 7 or whatever. But it's been a great work done by Romain, again, to make a good balance between the colors, the stones. We have 288, diamonds plus 44 baguettes for a total of 5 carats. And all this very, very nicely set on the case of the Defy 21. So you have the orange and the blue are sapphires.
Julien, I thought
the green
that you decided to use a steel case as the platform for these 5 watches. Can you tell me a little bit about why you decided to use steel?
First, we wanted to make it different from the other ones. We wanted to start from a different material. And also, we believe that the shining of the steel, if you compare titanium and steel, you have a different effect, of course. And we thought that with the stones, it was much, much better looking. Basically, the shining effect and the color effect was giving a better rendering on a steel than it would have been on a titanium or any other material. So that's why we focus on this one.
Very cool.
And you know, of course, here we use tsavorite. I don't know how you say in English, for the stone. Okay, perfect. And the purple, where is the purple? Here we are amethyst.
Very nice.
A very cool one as well.
You know what's interesting to me, Julien, is that like one of the categories that seems to have really grown significantly is complicated watches or technical watches that are gem set, even for men. So like I look at these watches and I can see a lot of guys wearing them as well.
For sure. For sure. No, it's becoming very popular. And I think it's been popular in Asia for a while, but now it starts to kind of spread over the world, you know, because we see more and more men wearing watches with diamonds, especially of that size. Totally right. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, it's a stunning watch. And I love the idea of integrating something very complicated, like a 1/100th of a second chronograph with very cool gem settings. So bravo. So last question I have for you is, tell me a bit about Zenith Icons.
Yes, of course. Zenith Icons is one of my favorite subjects, and I'm actually gonna have a presentation later in the week within Watches and Wonder dedicated on Zenith Icons. Zenith Icons for me is the best way to talk about the history, the heritage, but in a contemporary way. You know, when we make watches, they're actually here forever. We already had a commitment to be able to maintain any watch produced from day one in 1865. And Zenith Icon program is, or initiative, I should say, is actually confirming this in facts, in real, you know, and that's super important for me. So we started in October with 4 watches launched into the new concept of our Ginza boutique in Japan. And now it's following up with a few different other locations. And we basically renovate, in a way, restored, I should say, iconic watches from 60s, 70s that will be authenticated, certified, and guaranteed by the brand. So when you buy it, you don't take the risk of buying from an external source, whether on internet, in the auction, where you never really know if every single component is genuine and it's fully, you know, in a perfect condition. So here we are offering this possibility to Zenith collectors. And I think it's a great way to show that any watch we produced will be here forever. We'll have multiple lives over the time. And that's a discussion that I like in today's world, where we talk a lot about sustainability. When you produce a new watch like this one, it will live forever. And that's important.
That's very cool. So, Julien, I'm looking at the list of the watches that were offered at the Ginza boutique. You've got the A384, yes, A385, A386, and A3818. So these are all real icons. And I would like to ask you a question about the last watch, the A3818, which is also known as the cover girl because it appeared on the cover of Manfred Rossler's book, Zenith Swiss Watch Manufacturing, since 1865. This is one of the most beloved watches in the world. It's got this very cool combination of pulsometer and tachymeter, and with this really special pyramid track and a Superman blue dial. I couldn't help but notice that this watch was born in 1971, which means this is actually the anniversary of the cover girl, the 50th anniversary of the cover girl. Do you have any plans?
With this one?
Yes.
Of course. And not this year, because, you know, we already worked on the cover girl edition. We have more things to come very soon. So you will see at the end of the year a little surprise on that particular watch. But it's a bit too early to mention, but you will love it. I know you will love it.
Well, I'm very excited and I can't wait. Julien, what a pleasure to see you. Great watches this year, and I can't wait to see you in person. I think you were the last person I saw in reality in our event in Miami last year. And so I hope you can be one of the first I see again.
And you promised me I'll be the first one you see again in real.
Let's do it, brother.
Bye-bye, Wei. Take care. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
See you soon.